again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Favorite time of the week, but not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews in your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. The most loyal fans there ever could be. We are that mile high Broncos country.
Orange Weekly. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. What is up, Broncos country? And it is good to be back here with you. This is Orange Weekly, Bourbon, Broncos, no BS, and we are here to break down the 2023 draft, in which, if you weren't paying attention, happened. And we have some news to talk about. So we'll answer your questions about that. We'll also talk about all the other things that have been going on that we've heard of or that you've heard of about, training camp and what's been going on so far since Sean Payton got in. But guys, how y'all doing?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Good to be here. What about you, Kev? How are you?
Well, got the visor on, channeling my Sean Payton. It's good.
I see you and Jared had a similar head gear choice today.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Along with our friend Sean. Don't forget Sean.
As you have him saved in your phone, right, Jared?
Oh, when you say
my phone is Sean.
You say your friend Sean. Okay, but see, he doesn't know you exist because you're talking about.
Yeah, no. He's saved in my phone, but there's no number or email associated. It's just he's in there.
Cool.
I just know when I get it, I got to be ready to just be able to plug it in. You know
Sure.
how it is.
Sure.
It's quick interactions. It's one of those things. Yeah.
It's tech. You're living in the year 3023.
Well, I just hope that you don't have a picture of the fake Sean Payton hitting a bong and as the contact photo.
You mean Kevin Payne?
When I saw that, I was like, "There's no way. There's no way."
Well, nowadays with AI, anything's possible. Right?
Oh, it's getting scary.
Also, it's just like knowing Sean Payton. It feels like there's like some way. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's not impossible.
It's not impossible at the same time.
Right. But yeah, probably not. Probably
not. Anyway, well, guys, I think it's time to just dive on into it. And for all the people who are tuning in, starting watching, Sean, how you doing? Post your comments, post your questions. But guys, let's just start talking about the draft since that just happened. Broncos, pretty quiet in the first round, I would say. Pretty quiet in the second round.
Pretty quiet in the third round too.
Until the end of the second round. We actually all right. Well, there were picks. All right, there were picks. There were 5 picks. Which commercial, Jared? What was your favorite commercial? Tell me about it.
The one that was trying to sell me that thing.
Oh.
So descriptive, Jared. Commercial. So descriptive.
It had me hooked from beginning to end of that 7-second commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Viagra commercial?
Probably that one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, it got me up.
Oh! Can I just say, what is the deal with every time there's a pick, somebody has like a 5-minute speech that they have to give? Like, can we start limiting them on time? Like, you got 30 seconds. Read the name and move on.
That's the thing. so I mean, like from a programming standpoint, the thing is, like the picks sometimes just take a while to get in. Like I mean, that's like we've all experienced where like it takes them like 4 minutes out of their 5 minutes, even though we all know who the pick is going to be, to get the pick in. And so they have to have something to fill the time. So I agree with you that definitely the speeches could be shorter, but they're also going to have somebody up there talking somehow, because otherwise it's just dead air while you wait for the pick. Like,
it just seems like every person has like a thing up there that they gotta say. And then, you know, the draft production is nice, but God, I hated it being in Kansas City. God, I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, that was rough.
God.
However, I did love. You know, the speeches definitely stopped them from going to Will Levis after every pick.
I felt so bad for him.
Watch his girlfriend slowly but surely decide to leave him throughout the first day. That was definitely we got to see less of that, and I still feel like we saw enough. So.
They panned to him 39 times. 39.
It felt to me like the Johnny Manziel draft. You know, you're just sitting there waiting. They kept panning to him. Yeah.
Well, another person they did that to was Drew Lock.
True.
Drew Lock was supposed to go in the first round and end up sliding to the second. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Levis does, and I think he got picked up by Pittsburgh,
Tennessee.
I want to say Tennessee. So we'll see how much playing time he gets and what he does out there. But yeah, interesting. The whole draft. So for the record, Kev, you said if you didn't watch it, you were one of 54.4 million viewers watched at least 5 minutes of the draft, and that is a lot of people.
A lot of people, and that is over the course of 3 days. But that's like 17 million people a day. So that's a lot of people, and it shows that once again the NFL continues to be like the best product on TV by a wide margin. Like that's. Like,
it's a juggernaut, period.
Yeah, there's no show on TV that puts up half the like if a network TV show puts up half that number, it's a great number anymore. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. So now
take
I don't
that,
know if
American Idol.
Dancing with the star. That's what the kids are watching these days. It's lit.
Masked Singer.
Now what? Yeah, lit. Now, fellas, what do you think? Did we get right into it? What do you think of these draft picks, Jared? I know you had some concerns, so why don't we get to you last? Why don't we start with Rob? Why don't we get your thoughts?
So I mean, you know, before the draft started, obviously we didn't have anything first round. I was surprised that we traded back up into the second round. And got the wide receiver Marvin Mims Jr. from Oklahoma. I'll be honest, I don't know much about the draft picks that we got other than, you know, what I've seen on ESPN and what I've read. The thing I think that concerned me the most is our very last pick was the only pick that we addressed an actual need. And that was the center from Oregon, Forsyth. So I was a little confused by the rest of our picks, but I think the Mims Jr. pick, I hate to say it, but I think it spells the end for KJ Hamler.
Yeah.
And that's where I would say the first pick I would say would be more of a need. You know, I think they had decided that it's time to move on from KJ, and I think, you know, us moving up to get him was proof of that, right? So I think they were maybe addressing a need there with that first pick. But I mean, I thought it was a good trade up to get him, you know, good value for what we got. And, you know, unlike Rob, I have watched about 80 hours of film on each of these players.
Okay.
Kevin, you're so full of shit.
And extensive notes. I actually talked to Coach Payton today to give him my notes.
Also Sean and his only visor wearers get to have Miss Sean in
right.
their phone.
And we get to call him Sean too, but I don't want you all to know that. I'm just, you know, professionally call him Coach Payton out in public. But yeah, so
I am
Yeah.
not
But no.
professional. I will call him Sean.
we'll call him Sean. No, seriously though, I mean, I think this guy is good. I mean, you push him to that next level, right? Help him find that next gear, and the coaching staff that we have now with the experience and the drive that you're already seeing from him. I think this guy, again, knock on wood, you're always looking at those injuries, and just right. And that's what happened to KJ, but here we are just a couple years removed from him, and we're trying a different player. But they get a connection between him and Russell Wilson. That's going to be huge and really give us that deep threat, that over the top threat that we haven't had in the last couple of years.
Kev, you think they might use Mims Jr. for a punt or kick return?
I mean, they might. I think it's going to be a very different approach to special teams this year. I mean, part of it was, why is Pat Surtain not out there on special teams?
Because he's Pat Surtain. That's
right,
why.
right. And I think the logic before has been, well, we don't want a starter to get hurt on special teams, right? But I think, you may not see PS2 out there, but you're going to see more higher level players, I think, out there, because we've been lacking in special teams for so long that's something that we have to address, right? But we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if, expect maybe during preseason, just to try it maybe once or twice. I don't know, but
I still miss Trendon Holiday.
We all do.
Well, and I'll tell you, Sean Payton was asked after the draft, and he said he cited specifically Mims' return ability, and he said that he and the coaching staff viewed him as one of the 2 elite returners in this draft class. So that, I think, has a really big part of why they drafted him in the first place, and I do think that we will see him as their primary returner sooner than later.
That's fair. I missed that. So yeah.
All right, Jared, go ahead. Jared has thoughts, everybody.
I have thoughts. Let's do a little call and response.
Okay.
What was our biggest problem on our team last year?
Me.
So many
Rob.
things.
Oof.
Offensive line.
Wrong.
Damn.
David.
Ooh. Quarterback play.
Okay. And David hits it on the nose. Do we think that trading up, now granted, it's not like we gave away a lot. We traded up 3 picks, and I think we gave away like 15 picks in the 4th round. Anyways, do we think trading up for a wide receiver was really our biggest need?
No. But I think
at that point you're looking at best available as well. You're looking at
your best available falls to you, right? Best available means when you're picking, it's the best available.
Drew Sanders was the best available pick in this draft. That's the one pick where we can say they went with the best available guy. Mm-hmm. And I think Jared. Or I picked up the phone, I called Sean, and I was like, "Dude, I'm tired of not picking inside linebackers." He was like, "I got you, bro," and he picked him. That's what happened. I mean, I'm not going to brag, but that's kind of what happened. I
was in the war room when Jared called.
He was
I
right
heard
there
the
next.
conversation.
Yeah, I was on speaker. It was weird. It was awkward. There was a lot of talking behind me. Like, they weren't really listening, but Sean was.
Have y'all seen the commercial with the guy in the trash can that's trying to be a spy? I feel like that was Kevin. Kevin was in the corner of this giant trash can just listening.
Yep. I'm really looking forward to seeing our budget go way up because of the connections that you guys both have with the team. The deep and high up connections.
Well, they can't show favoritism.
Right.
Officially, they can't show favoritism.
No, of course. But unofficially, I mean, things are done under tables. I watch Succession. I know how it goes. Anyway.
So here's what I was getting at with the what our problem was. Our problem wasn't at wide receiver. So getting Mims, cool. Do I think KJ Hamler could do the exact same thing as Mims? I do. Is he a little bit more injury prone? Sure, but everybody is in the NFL, right? And we don't know what Mims is going to do at the NFL level. How many times have we gotten a guy like that in the last 5 years? Who's the guy? I forget his name already. We sent him to the Bills and ended up playing wide receiver for the Bills really well the last couple of years.
Isaiah McKenzie.
Yeah. We picked up Isaiah McKenzie, and then we got rid of McKenzie because we ended up getting. So it's just we're kind of stacking these interior deep guys, fast guys, right? We're trying to kind of stack these guys, And you're right. I agree with Kevin and David. I agree with you. And Rob, you mentioned it. I think at some point our wide receiver room is going to be our special teams guys. Like, we are no longer in the special teams era of like, this guy's a special teams guy like Deontay Spencer. You guys know how much I loved him. There's no more of that. There's no more of we're only keeping the guy on here because he's really good at this one special teams thing. We're going to start using those guys at receiver or at returner. But to trade up for the wide receiver, I was a little disappointed. Now, however, caveat all this, I'm not negative completely. We gave up our first round to get Sean Payton, and let's be honest, if the quarterback play wasn't the problem, it was the coaching calls, right? So if we're going to get a first round pick, we might as well get the problem, right? Fix the problem that we had. And if that can fix Russ, then we're good to go. I just don't think there's been a lot of negativity around the wide receiver room. There's been a lot of like, yeah, they didn't put up the numbers. And you can say it all day like, oh, they were this wide, Jerry Jeudy had his worst year yet. Yeah, nobody threw him the ball. Of course he didn't have as many receptions. Nobody was throwing him the ball. And we just couldn't get going on offense. So this kind of like this mindset around having a rough wide receiver room was really perplexing to me because I think the wide receiver room is the most deep room currently on our roster. So seeing us get with our first pick in the draft wide receiver had me a little perplexed.
Okay, fair enough. So for me, what I would say to that is I get it. First of all, I think you definitely make a good point. What I would say about it is I think it shows the Sean Payton influence on this draft in that George Payton is a guy who really likes to trade back and save picks, and Sean Payton historically has been a guy who likes to move up and spend picks. And I think we saw a little bit of who was running the draft from that perspective with this. And also I think that I definitely think, Jared, you're right about Mims has a similar skill set to Hamler. But I think just at the end of the day, I think you see the coaching staff has more faith in Mims to stay on the field than Hamler has.
And I get that.
Yeah, and I know it's expensive you to trade up into the second round and go there when you think you have needs elsewhere, and you do have needs elsewhere on the team. But it does at least allow you to, if Mims is that vertical threat that you drafted him to be, and you have to trust your evaluation that he is, then at least you got another facet to your offense. You actually have a guy who can, with game-breaking speed, and Jerry Jeudy's fast. But Mims, I think, has another gear that Jerry Jeudy doesn't quite get to. As far as challenging defenses in the middle of the field, over the top. So I think that is really going to, if it works out, be a facet that our offense needs and that Sean Payton's really going to like having. So I get it on all sides of it. I'm very much in a wait and see attitude about it because I've always just been kind of biased for drafting wide receivers because it's cool. It's like a new gadget. It's a new toy. It's a shiny thing that you get to see like in action right away. And so that,
Maybe.
Yeah, right. Hopefully, God, please.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with it.
And David,
we have a very deep wide receiver room.
We do.
To piggyback off of that, I completely agree with you on the fact that, a lot of people, when I give them my thoughts about it, they tell me I'm being negative, but I'm tired of getting my hopes up.
Yeah.
I am staying neutral. I am staying even keel, and they need to show me. On a positive side, we did pick up Jerry Jeudy's 5th year option, which is great.
Yes.
But he's another one. I got to see it out of him to, for him to get another contract.
Yeah.
I think we all agree. I'm not saying he doesn't have talent, but
I just need
it goes back to the quarterback play.
I need a season of
go.
final, I need that last 6 games of Jerry Jeudy last year. I need a season of that. Give me that.
I need to see that in games where it does matter.
Yeah, and then pay
Correct.
him. And then pay him.
Why wasn't he? Okay, I know. They weren't throwing him the ball, but here's the thing: he has the money now. Okay, Jared can just walk off and pout. That's okay. I love you, bro. There he is. I knew he'd come back. He always does.
Couldn't leave us. He can't leave us. There's no way.
No, look, but
Go ahead, Jared.
How do you
how
blame
many times
the
do we
wide
see
receiver?
it? A player finally gets paid, and then it goes down. It's a new system. We just need. All I'm asking for is a continuity of what we saw last year. I'm not asking for anything crazy. I'm not
Let's
saying I
just
don't
carry it
believe in
over.
him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, cool, you got the contract. I'm not going to say you didn't deserve it, but just please don't take a backslide. Like go out there and continue to be that front guy that we were seeing you step up to be last year. That's all I'm asking for, Jared. I'm not asking for like the moon and the stars and your heart.
Jared,
You turned me down
You're asking him to
5
do
times.
things with the ball when he doesn't have the ball. Like he can only do so much. He can get open all he wants if the ball's not getting thrown to him. Like,
Right, well,
he did.
let's see that.
He didn't have 400-yard games because he got thrown twice a game. Like you have to get him the ball to be able to get a dang
I'm not saying
Mims is not a starter on this offense right today.
no.
No, probably
I
not.
wouldn't
You're
say-
right. Yeah.
No.
Especially if Tim
Colton
Patrick
Sutton,
is fully
Jerry
healthy.
Jeudy, and Tim Patrick
Yeah,
are
exactly.
starting wide receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Now give it a couple years, and who knows where Mims could be.
well,
But
and here's what excites me, I think the most is
God, Jared, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to piss you off.
No, it's not. I hate it when I thank you, Facebook user.
Yes.
I don't like this aura around wide receivers of like, oh well, he wasn't very good last year.
aura.
Guess what? None of our receivers were fucking good last year. Sorry for the
it's not just
kids
wide
watching.
receivers; it's all of the players last year.
On offense. Agreed. I just
Yeah.
but
Yes.
again,
On offense. Yes.
on offense, whether that be coaching or quarterback play,
Yes.
which we've replaced one of those. So let's see if that was the problem.
Yep.
I hate this thought process around like, yeah, we extended him, like he better show up, he better not do what he did last year. I hope nobody on the offense does what they did last year, and
Well, yeah.
and we could go on, but we can't. You cannot sit here and blame a wide receiver for the poor production of offense.
No.
You can't.
No. But here's this is to Jerry's latest question here. Is Sean Payton going to do it? What I really like about this draft is you can see kind of see a plan on offense. If this is, I talked to Sean Payton a lot as well, obviously. So he told me this is what
Right.
he's thinking.
He's in
the
David's
Adam
phone as
Troutman.
Pepe.
Pepe, yeah, absolutely. But with a Y, so that I know it's not George Payton, who obviously
Payton,
spells it,
right.
and an A, so that I know it's not Peyton Manning, who obviously goes with the EY. So
Different.
different.
They're all Pepes in his
Kevin
thing.
had to excuse himself. He's like, I'm out. I can't.
They're all Pepe, just spelt differently. The
different. I can keep them straight. Anyway, what I like about this draft, and we haven't really talked that much about the Adam Troutman trade, to tight end that we acquired, I think, for our 4th round pick from the Saints.
I don't get
that
that.
is huge.
Well, and so what I think it allows you to do is you've got now Greg Dulcich and Troutman there. Troutman can run routes. He can block, I think, a little bit better than Dulcich can. So now you've got 2 guys there. You've got really varied skill sets at wide receiver between Jeudy and Patrick and Sutton and now Mims. Sutton and Patrick overlap a little bit, but they all do, a different enough things. So it becomes now a question of, well, you can put all these personnel out there in whatever grouping that you want and do whatever you want with them, basically. Like if you put Mims and Jeudy and Sutton out there, you could run out of that personnel, because Mims, that's another one of his scouting report traits, is he's a really good blocker, a really willing blocker in the run game. Or you could put 3 tight ends out there with Dulcich and Troutman, and I know we've got 8 more tight ends on the roster. So
Manhurts. We got Albert O still.
thank you, Manhurts, Albert. Yeah,
No.
Albert O. I don't know
Albert
I don't know if he's gonna.
still on team.
Yeah, he is. I don't know. You trade a 4th round pick for a guy, and he might become the odd man out now. But Manhurts, is the blocking extraordinaire tight end there. So he's not going to be running any routes. But if you put him and Troutman out there, you've got all kinds.
Eric Saubert.
Yeah, right.
So
We
I
did.
think that was a big piece of it, and I think he
Yeah.
was a big part of the offense because
Yeah.
he's I think a very similar skill set to who we got,
Right.
and a guy that can block and also go out for passes when we need to. Right? He's not gonna, I'm not gonna say not going to, but he's not the guy that you're looking at to get a 72-yard up the middle. But he's a guy that'll get you 8 yards when you need it, and
Right.
And I think that's what we're looking at there, especially if we do 2 tight end sets. You got Dulcich, who's an okay blocker and the other guy that can block. And then both of them can run out for routes. I think it's a good look.
Well, and that's all. Like you can put all these guys out there and have the defense not be able to say immediately what you're going to do because this guy's on the field, and that's really valuable.
I'm interested to see what Sean does. I think going back to Jerry's, I think Sean can do it. I do have a little bit of faith. I'm not as overly optimistic as I have been in the past couple of years, which is weird because we know how bad we did, right? I'm not in the offseason like, oh yeah, like last year we thought like we did it, we got Russ, this is the year. And I don't have that right now for some
Jared's
reason.
not dead inside, but he's in his feels, that's all.
Well, I think we all got burned so badly.
I think that's it.
Last year.
I think that's it.
Because I'm the same exact way, man. Like I'm keeping things so tempered. Like, I want to be excited, but just I remember how just awesome it was, that day we got, Russell Wilson and the news broke and driving home and just it was like so exciting. And the build up to the season was so crazy with us playing the Seahawks, and it just fell apart so quickly and in such an ugly manner that, I think we're all in the same mode of he's saying the right things, but prove it. How does it translate onto the field? Again, I don't care what you say. I care how many wins do we get? And I'm not saying we're a Super Bowl team this year, right? But can we see some remarkable improvement? And I think you're going to see it just in the work ethic that he's already been instilling in the building, right?
Yeah.
It's been really quiet out of there. They're cutting down on the media. They're cutting down on the fancy social media stuff. There wasn't the video of Russell Wilson getting out of his car on the first day of, showing up to the building in his own jersey, like, oh, here we go. Let's ride. And
that's because Sean Payton said, get out of the building.
Just like, cut out all the distractions. We are going to work. We're going to work hard. And I think that's what I'm thinking is going to, hopefully show the improvement on the field. And then I'll get excited when I see it actually working, on the field. Then I'll get excited. But until then, I'm going to remain tempered as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So the other two things that we forgot to mention were a couple wide receivers that we acquired in the offseason, and that's Jordan Humphreys and Marquez Callaway. So I think that's another reason that KJ is kind of on the chopping block. In my opinion, I know Humphreys, he's actually taller than I thought he was. I thought he was a short wide receiver. The dude's 6'4". So
it's not that tall.
Oh,
not much taller than me.
Kevin, you and I are 5'8", okay?
He said 6'4", not 5'4".
That is 18 inches taller than
no,
you
he's
are,
not.
Kevin.
No, it's not that bad.
Kevin, that is
close.
he's a foot and a half taller than
David, how tall are you?
I'm
David,
6'2".
He said 6'4", not 5'4". That makes him 3 feet taller than Kevin.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, Jared. That's good quick math.
Yeah, your
there.
math is way off,
Yeah.
David.
I'm sorry.
Get the abacus.
Jared has the
Everyone-
abacus. By the way, can't say abacus,
The
but knows how to
abstructus?
drop the word aura into a conversation. That was good stuff there.
I can't say obstructus.
Right.
And I used it right, David. Don't give me crap for
You
it.
did. You did.
Yes,
It was stunning. I don't know if I've ever been prouder of you. And so I mean, here, let's
Really?
roll into quiet, Kev. Let's roll into this like 3-part question from Clayton because I like it. And shout out to Mindy. Hey, Mindy, thanks for watching because you commented while I was monologuing. Sorry about that. Anyway, who is going to have the biggest impact right away? Let's just go through these one at a time. We'll go around the table and answer these 2 questions. And then maybe we'll do grades. I don't know. Anyway, I think for me, who's going to have the biggest impact right away is Riley Moss. And I think that's because I think he's immediately in the conversation as your second cornerback, outside cornerback. At least you're penciling him in near the top of the depth chart for training camp if you're not at the top of the depth chart there. He's got the size, he's got the range, he's got, the length that you want. He can play zone, he's played man. I think, he could be a really potent corner combination with Pat Surtain, but I think he is for me the guy who stands in line to get the most snaps right away.
Jared, you want to go next?
That was mine. I was about to say, with our lack of depth at corner, obviously we have a shutdown on one side, and Damari Mathis is basically our next in line for the depth chart there, and there's a chance that Riley Moss, if he is everything that the social media say he is, then he could step up and become that guy. Even nickel situations, you're going to see him a lot, and as we know in the past, our defense has been very nickel heavy, so there's a chance you see Riley Moss out there a lot.
Really, Jared? I figured you would have said Drew Sanders.
That's what I was going to say.
I was going to. However, our offseason has changed very little in the inside linebacker world. Alex Singleton, Josie Jewell are our number one starters. They have been. If one of them goes down,
Sorry, no, go for it.
I was just going to say, if one of them goes down, I could definitely see him stepping up and taking over those Drew Sanders coming in hot. And hopefully being very good. I do expect to see, actually, because of his size and speed, to be able to cover. You might see three linebacker sets, inside linebacker sets, and he plays more of a strong safety than he does the inside linebacker, which I love about him. His versatility.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you what I would really be interested in seeing is a defense with him and J.L. Skinner, our 6th round pick out there. Because Skinner he's listed as a strong safety, but he's like 6'4", over 200 pounds. He is going to play a lot of snaps close to the line of scrimmage. He's really athletic. I think that having him and Drew Sanders out there is a really potent combination from a speed and size perspective. As long as they can actually play football too.
I would like to see Sanders put Travis Kelce on his ass personally.
Yeah.
I would.
I mean, I'd like to see any. Yeah,
all of us.
I want to see any Broncos
6'5", 233. You got to think about this 6'5", 233 in the middle of the field. That's hard to get past, regardless of whether you're running or you're trying to throw over the top. It's really hard. It's very difficult to get through.
Well, I'm gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna go a little unconventional, and I think Forsythe, the center from Oregon. I don't know if he's gonna have an immediate impact in games, but I think he's gonna have an impact as far as pushing Cushenberry and pushing the other centers to, keep their heads about him and do their job, because center, as we all know, has been a trying time for quite a while. And I believe we lost, what's his name? From Detroit. He went back to Detroit. Guard, moved to center. I can't think of his name. Glasgow, thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping that Forsythe will push our center depth and push them to work. And hopefully, with our other additions on the offensive line, maybe we can get Russell Wilson some time to get Jerry Jeudy the ball. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, honestly.
Yeah.
Kev, what about you?
Yeah, no, you kind of all covered a lot of the same things I was going to say. I mean, I would really like to imagine that Drew Sanders would have. Yeah, he's going to be like the 3rd string linebacker. I get it, but when you have that kind of talent there with what he brings to the table, and again, he's going to make rookie mistakes, right? It's going to take him probably a little bit to up his game, but once you do, you have him behind the other 2 linebackers. And I mean, that's just, you rotate those guys and they stay fresh out there. Right. And then you find it just another option to give you that matchup that you want based off who you're playing that week. So,
and it depends.
Then we don't have to talk about linebackers every week. We can be like, yeah, linebackers did great. Awesome. Yeah.
We'll be
Jared will never stop talking about linebackers.
Yeah, no.
Hey, once it's not a problem, we can cover Kelce, then I just be like, yeah, good job, guys. I have nothing for you. Awesome.
If Sanders pans out, I'm getting Jared a Sanders jersey. That's what it's going to be.
There you go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Love it.
Beauty.
Love it.
I honestly think that Sanders is going to be playing more as like a hybrid. Like, he probably should have been drafted as an athlete kind of thought process, because I think he'll be playing more of a hybrid than he is an inside linebacker. Obviously, good inside linebacker depth in case of injury, but
right,
you'll see him out there even with the other 2 healthy. You'll see him out there in certain packages, whether it's run stop packages, heavies, or even nickels, just to be able to cover tight ends depending on the situation.
Yeah.
And Facebook user has a good point that Waller from the Raiders has gone to the Giants. So that'll be one less tight end that we have to deal with.
True.
Yeah, but
don't
didn't
have
the
to see them this
Chargers just
season.
grab like the tight end, the top tight end this year?
No,
think
they
so.
they did take a wide
Or
receiver,
something.
Quentin Jefferson. No, it was the Raiders that took the top tight end this year. It was
Oh, that's
Michael
what it was,
Mayer
yeah.
from
Michael
Notre
Mayer,
Dame.
yeah.
Yep. That was a good pick for
Ugh.
them.
I thought it was the tight end from Utah.
No, Dalton Kincaid. He went to the Bills. But
The rich get
So,
richer.
yeah, I guess. You know, and that, you know, the Raiders I thought had an interesting draft because they took Tyree Wilson, who's interesting as a top 10 pick as a pass rusher, but like he also has a Liz Frank injury, and everybody who remembers what happened to Ryan Clady knows that that can really slow you down. Now he's a younger, way younger than Ryan Clady was when he had a Liz Frank injury, so we'll see. But you know, Raiders gonna Raider, and they still are starting Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback. So
Yes,
and-
they are.
And also the Bills signed Latavius Murray to a 1-year deal. So
yeah, they did. They did.
I was a little disappointed about that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Jared.
I was just gonna say we were talking about my disappointment in the running back room. You know, we got Perrine in the offseason. Maybe that was the reason to move on from him. I thought he was going to stay with the signing of Coach Payton, seeing as he played for Payton back in the day.
Yeah.
Guess that wasn't going to work out. 1-year deals. But I think the intent here is that Javonte Williams, they fully expect Javonte Williams to come back fully healthy and ready to go. And if I'm cool with Javonte being our 3-down back. Like we've had the 2-back sets for a very long time, and I think Broncos country got very used to it. But I'm cool with having Javonte Williams be our 3-down back. Like I am.
Well,
if
sure.
he could stay healthy.
Well, that's the thing too, and I think there might even be some level of non-clarity inside the building as to what's going on with Javonte Williams' knee and how long it's actually going to take him to get back. And so I think they want to let him try to rehab it as much as he can all spring and summer. And then, you know, if they sign somebody around training camp, if they bring a veteran in, then you'll know that he's not ready. He won't be. Yeah, go ahead.
Who?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Right now, your guys that you're looking at really are going to be like Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook.
I would say Dalvin Cook's a big name going around.
Right. Those are those.
Just because of name familiarity more than anything.
Well,
Just
those are
don't tell me that Denver's going to take a blind swing on Elliott.
Oh, well, probably not, but that's another name that's available right now. I doubt it. I mean, that's the thing. They don't have any money. Yeah, they don't have any money. So it's whoever it's going to be. It's going to be.
If we can get Dalvin Cook on one, unless they're really high on Perrine or however.
Well, that's
Perrine.
Yeah, I mean, and Perrine is good, but he's never been a. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's like a really hard P.
It
really
is.
hard on the P. Like
I understand. It's definitely not. It's not Perrine. It's definitely.
I'm gonna call him Swaggy P from here on out.
Great. I'm sure if he ever gets wind of that, he's gonna think it's really great and really flattering.
He'll get a Swaggy P T-shirt. We'll be fine. It'll work.
It'll
work out.
Yeah, you guys can get matching ones, and you can put them in your phone next to Sean Payton because that works.
It'll be
too many P's. Too many P's.
Sean, Swaggy P, Pepe. Right, we're working on it. Yeah,
lots. It's perfect. Now I've forgotten what we were talking about. Where were we? Thank you,
David.
Joey.
Do you not know that it's almost summer right now?
I don't acknowledge the summer months.
I don't know what the weather is up by you, but it was 98 degrees here today, so I'm kind of like.
It was not that hot.
No, it was not. It was gorgeous.
It was
today.
comfortable. It was very nice.
68 or something here today. It was really, really nice.
Yes, Joey, you are correct.
But yeah, no, it is. It's my least favorite season of the year. This summer is summer's not great. All right. Do you have a quick draft grade, fellas?
Look, I think based off what they had, and they made a couple smart moves. I thought I'll give them a B plus.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. B plus B.
I'm going to give them a straight B for me, just because they moved up they spent a 3rd round pick to move from next year to move up to get Riley Moss, and they don't have that. Like, they have a 1st round pick again next year, but they don't have that much draft capital next year. So that's why it comes down a little bit for me. Jared, tank. Go ahead and tank the average here.
I'm gonna go C-.
Okay.
Because that is the minimum you can do to pass.
Jared knows
still
this from
graduate.
experience. Yep.
Facts. And still graduate on time. And here's why. Not because we didn't have a going like that is with all the situations, right? Like if
not the
honestly
situations.
if we're adding in the fact that we okay, cool.
It's your soapbox. Go for it.
All right, yep. Swaggy P getting ready. Oh, sorry, that was him. So I forgot what I was gonna say. If we're adding in the Sean Payton paid, the fact that we don't have a 1st round. Again, we didn't have a 1st round to begin with. Except for the trade of Bradley Chubb, we got it back a 1st round, and then we got rid of that for the Sean Payton trade. All that going on. If we're including Sean Payton as our 1st round pick, I grade this probably a B+. I think Sean Payton, like giving up a first round pick for Sean Payton, and our issues at the core, if we believe that, right? And a lot of this, I'm going to backpedal for real quick. All of this conversation that we're having is not going to be known for a couple years. Like none of this, we're not going to know what they're actually going to do or how they're actually going to fit and what's coming out of it. Like we've been really high on players that have ended up just not being the guy.
Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, well, that too. I'm looking at more at who is that the end that we got that isn't now playing in the CFL.
Oh, Shane Ray.
Shane Ray. That was another one. Yeah. So anyways, so we're not going to see
your
later.
point. Yeah, go ahead.
But here's the thing: we trade a 1st round pick for a guy, and obviously coaches you normally don't trade picks for, but for a guy that we don't have to take draft hit on or capital on, for a cap hit. So we have that. I think that was good. But overall, the trading up for a wide receiver in the 1st round, which is our most deep room in the entire organization right now, the linebacker, which again, I'll admit it, like it was okay last year. I don't think that was a need, or they just didn't see the athletes in the places that they needed. I just don't see that we drafted for what our needs were as high as they were. I think center was a pretty high need. We didn't get one until the 6th round. Granted, there wasn't a deep center class here, and by the time we got to it, it was like you're talking about guys with 5th, 6th round ranks anyway. Just situationally, we just fell in the wrong spot, I think, and that deserves a C-, and we barely graduate and move on to the season.
Fair enough.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you think of Sean Payton as your 1st round draft pick, as you were saying, the actual 28th overall pick, 29th overall pick that the Broncos would have had turned into defensive tackle from Clemson, Brian Brees. So that and Bradley Chubb, you traded him and Bradley Chubb for Sean Payton. And I don't know, to fix Jared, as you say, to fix issues as systemic as they were from the coaching problems last year, that to me seems like a good trade. So yeah.
All
right.
Well, I think we've more or less covered the draft in depth. Next week, guys, well, maybe not. Let's see. Not next week, but probably on the 11th, we are looking at, next week, the 2023 schedule dropping.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm looking at that Vegas game, guys. I'm going this year. I'm telling you what, it's happening.
Yeah.
I thought we were rolling a dice.
Yes, we are rolling it. That can happen too, Jared. All of these things can happen.
Both?
Yeah, we can do both.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
be here
except
next
this
season,
time, Jared,
unfortunately,
you're not going. Oh,
You're not going to
Yeah,
be
I'm not-
here?
I don't know where I'm going yet. I don't know, but I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be in the desert anymore.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
you're moving
so-
again.
It's the military life, man. That's what happens every 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, if
I
you
boo
move to
you
Vegas,
anyway.
then we're definitely going to meet up in Vegas. And I'm not letting you talk me out of it this time.
Yeah,
That
there
is
you
going to be a hard option as the Navy doesn't have a lot of water there.
Well,
You
Jared,
just
we don't
need
have
a
to get
desk
you
job,
stationed
Jared.
there. We just have to get you there for a weekend, like in October or
Oh, that I
November
can do.
sometime. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm talking
What's
about.
up with the Navy and their obsession about water? I don't get it. The Air Force is the one
75%
that
of the
does all the
world,
real
Kevin.
work anyway, so.
75% of the Earth, baby.
Yeah, but
yeah,
100%
so-
of the Earth is covered by air.
Anyway. Thank you, David. I appreciate you having my back.
Well, now on the other hand, the
rumor-
Navy also has aviators. So
Yeah,
and
and much more
It's
skilled
because they weren't good
aviators.
enough to get into
Oh.
the Air Force.
Oh.
Right. so-
Yeah, try landing on a carrier, Kev.
Yeah,
Joey
no
B
crosswind.
coming
You
in
don't
with
have
all-
to flare. You have 4 fucking wires. How could you miss?
They do. They
Okay.
put
Well, I mean,
You
the
put a
ship's
big-
moving, so
they
it's
put a
not,
big
it's-
hook on the tail, Jared. It hooks it.
Yeah. Well, the ship's
You're going-
moving, so
there's
try
no
landing on a
crosswind.
moving target. Air
You just
Force
go,
just lands in the middle of
boom.
nowhere. You just land.
have to-
It's there. It's always there. It's never changing. Yeah.
This is the content I came here.
Anyway.
Joey B
Rumor-
coming in with the shots at all of us.
That's
Rumor
Joey.
is
That's
The
Joey.
Jets
I live for it.
could
It's
be
Joey,
playing
Joey's
the
criticisms are what
Broncos.
gets me
I'm
up in the
pushing
morning.
forward. I'm just moving this along at this point. Jets could be playing Broncos in week 1. Do you guys like that potential matchup? Or is there someone else you really want us to play week 1?
Let's go. I want to play the Chiefs week 1. I want to get one out of the way.
Really?
I want to get it done.
Because then they could say, yeah, it was week 1. We weren't really ready yet. Like,
No, I want to
beat
because
us-
they're going to win.
beat us when
If
we were
we-
in mid-season form. You know what I
Kevin,
mean?
if we beat them once at all, that's what they're going to say. They're going to say, oh, it was early in the season. Oh, we had injuries. Oh, Patrick Mahomes didn't have sex with his wife
That's
the night
true.
before.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let me look at the Broncos. I don't want a divisional opponent. I don't want an AFC opponent.
No.
Cowards. That's what you are.
What do we collectively think about Aaron Rodgers to the Jets? I don't think it's going to make a difference. I mean,
I think it'll be like Favre to the Jets. Like they'll get a playoff appearance or 2 out of it, but I don't think they'll go to a Super Bowl. Maybe like AFC Championship game, I think is their ceiling for the next 2 seasons, and then after that, I think it's over.
Does Aaron Rodgers lose his shit in the middle of the season?
Oh, sure,
Of
but
course.
Find a bunker somewhere.
That's what he does.
I want to play at home. Honestly, I wouldn't mind the Green Bay Packers at home for a first game. I don't
Where's
know
the
if that's gonna
storylines,
happen.
Jared? Where's the? Give me the. You got to
You
get the
don't need a
storylines.
storyline. I don't want. So
They're not gonna.
Here's another
Yeah.
thing. Soapbox, David. Thank you so much for setting me up and getting me upset. This is what you do.
Yes,
And it happens every time. I'm
Uh-huh.
so sick and tired. Last year we had so many night games, we don't need drama for every game, David. We don't need that.
No,
we need,
no,
we
I
need
agree.
Just typical games where we don't have some sort of storyline or a quarterback carousel or a coaching carousel, which at this point we're on our way to. We don't need it.
Don't
we
say
just
things
let us
that are
play.
true.
Just let us play a 1:00 game. And just let us play a normal game where it's not nationally televised, and let us just play our game. Don't get me wrong, I like the national televised games, but like at some point we're done with national
Counterpoint.
televised.
I get you, but it's week 1, and they're going to be looking to put games together. For week 1, it's a special week. Everybody plays. They're going to be looking for storyline games. They'll want every game to be a storyline game if they can get it. So,
David,
David. Listen. I understand, Jared. I'm with you. I sympathize with you. I really do. You're just wrong, and you, like always.
I'm okay. I'm okay with being wrong in that aspect, but please tell me, like, how bad as we were last year, what's the storyline?
If it's the Jets,
Sean
yeah,
Payton
Sean
is the
Payton
storyline.
and Russell Wilson versus Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron Rodgers, the guy who in 2001 everybody was sure was going to be the Broncos quarterback for like 2 hours, and then they got Nathaniel Hackett last year. Some people say, maintain to this day, that they got Nathaniel Hackett because they thought Aaron Rodgers was coming next, and then the deal didn't go anywhere, and then Aaron Rodgers was himself.
You know what?
And then they went to Russell Wilson instead. I'm just saying there's a storyline there. That's all.
David, you got me to change my mind. Bring the Jets on week 1. I want to put Nathaniel Hackett in his fucking place.
Oh, I mean, now, Jared, have you seen the man's goatee? Kevin, can you pull this up? Because it's just it hurts. It hurts me to look at. It's so much worse than even Jared's facial hair when he tries to grow facial hair. I want to. Pull it up.
There's
Kevin's
so
pulling it
many
up.
fighting words in that statement. I don't know where to start.
I thought I thought I was paying you a compliment.
Yeah, compliment.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, no. Also, if we have
No.
one storyline all season,
Go.
and you want to throw it away on the first. Have you watched a TV show or a movie, David? You don't throw away the storyline in the first 15 seconds of the movie.
No,
And then-
that's not it.
no,
Kevin,
that's not the one.
no, that's wrong.
No, you got to
that's
pull
the
up
wrong
the
one.
picture with Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
The current Jets. You got to look up his Jets goatee. I'll find it for you.
Yeah.
You beautiful man, you.
Yeah, that's the word. That was the word I was looking for. Now, Jared, I think that you do that. You do use it on the first week.
You said doo-doo.
You did, yeah. That one was for you, buddy. Anyway, I think you do that because you want to get it out of the way. I think you do it because you want to do the storyline game, and then all the eyes are off, and you can just go through the season, and you can be yourself without all of the bullshit.
Do we have more than 2 primetime games this next season?
No, I mean the schedule's.
We'll
not
have a
released yet,
Thursday
so
night.
yeah.
We'll have a Thursday night.
Well, so we don't know that now. Because you can. It's because you can now.
Right.
They changed the rules a little bit. So technically, there are going to be teams who don't have Thursday night games this year, and there will be, I think, some teams that will have multiple Thursday night games. So
I see us having 2 night games, even if we don't have it. I think we'll still have a Thursday. I think it'll be a divisional game, and I see the Jets game being a primetime game. I don't see it week 1, but I see it being a primetime game, maybe like 3 or 4. I just don't think from the NFL standpoint, you can't put all the storylines at the beginning, David. You can't put every storyline in game 1. It's got to be one. Like obviously ours was game 1 last year.
I get it.
You can't put all the stories in the game 1. You got to have stories throughout the season, David, or else it gets boring.
Well,
and then
but
you don't
just
have
said
43 million people watching or 53 million people watching your draft because the story doesn't build.
I get it, but on the other hand, you're just
saying
said
it's scripted.
Yeah. Now we did hear from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell that the even if the NFL's script writers go on strike, the season will go on as scheduled. So don't worry about it, guys.
We're good.
Yeah. Anyway, I think, Jared, what were you talking? No, you've ruined it again, Kev. I don't know now what Jared was talking about.
Good.
Anyway, great.
All right.
No, you won. No, Jared, but you were saying just a minute ago, you said yourself, the Broncos only have one storyline. So how do you spread the moments throughout the season if you've got just one storyline game throughout the season?
Well, the Broncos don't control their schedule.
No, but I'm saying there's just no way.
The Broncos
no matter
only
when.
have one storyline, but at some point we got to. There's 17 weeks now, and they got to find 17 storylines.
I see. So what you're saying is other storylines will crop up as the season goes along.
Yeah, like week 1 will be some sort of, I don't know, Kansas City, Buffalo Bills or something like crazy, and then they'll just build the story along, and we'll get to Nathaniel Hackett versus his old team. And then if we lose that game, a week of depression for all of us, and then we move on. It's a repetitive thing, David. Like we've been through this.
You're right.
Dead inside, Jared. Dead inside.
I am going to send you, Kevin, a quick Facebook message with a picture that will hopefully shock and horrify all of you.
We were just talking about Brett Favre recently, so I hope it's not that kind of picture.
No. And
okay.
nothing with Favre between, in Favre's genes or in his bank accounts, welfare funds.
I like how Joey B called Jared a California state trooper that pulled him over in Truckee. That was awesome.
There it is. Oh,
What kind of rock concert BS is he trying to do?
I just want to give it a good tug. I want to yank on it a little bit. And Jared, I don't know. Don't you think that's worse than than when you grow a nice wispy at the holiday times?
What the hell?
Can you send me that so I can try to replicate it?
Oh,
Well, I was going to ask you, should my thing this year just be I have the same facial hair, whatever style as him? I don't know.
oh boy,
Absolutely
I'm
not.
gonna quit this podcast.
Or
I'm
try
quitting.
this out. The same facial hair as whatever our next opponent coaches. Just to see if we could do it.
Oh, he's definitely gonna braid it. Facebook user, he's gonna braid it with beads, and it's gonna be.
yes.
Figured me out. Blue and orange beads.
And then he's gonna obviously it would not be blue and orange beads, Kevin. It would be
Yes, it
white.
would
No,
be.
oh, I thought he's talking about Nathaniel
Talk
Hackett.
about
I
the
think.
Daniel Hackett.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
No.
green and white beads.
I could
if
almost
anything.
start braiding it for you. It's
No.
close.
You're not allowed to braid it.
Don't
What?
give
No, you're
don't
not,
give
no.
Mindy any
All right.
ideas, okay?
Because if you do, you're gonna have
Yeah,
to start
start now,
playing.
Jared, for December time frame
Yeah.
or November time frame.
I can only grow mine in like weeks at a time, and that's when I'm on leave. And you all know this, and you guys make fun of me anyway.
Hey, wait, Jared, if you get like a desk job, do you still have to keep clean shaven? No.
Always. I mean, I'm in a shop right now.
Yeah,
I always gotta
Jared
keep-
has.
No,
a desk job.
no, nobody bring it up.
So
Nobody
much.
bring it up.
You missed
Nobody
out
bring it
so
up.
much.
Kevin, shut up.
So much.
No,
Oh,
don't bring
Rob
it up.
said he's
Yeah.
gonna braid
Mindy,
his
I got you.
beard.
Yeah, we're
We told
braiding
him
hate,
your beard.
no.
I hate you all.
Yeah, if you get those
So-
beads, you can.
I
get them
actually
from Walmart.
encouraged
They're,
him to
pretty
do
cheap.
it.
They're
I
kids
thought
in
it
the
would
kids
be-
section.
I
Yeah.
thought it would be funny.
No,
if
because
he
now I'm
did
gonna
it.
wake
Rob
up.
was all on board at first. I was
No,
surprised.
I was not.
He
No, I was
literally
not.
was like, "Oh, you should tell Mindy about this," and we were like,
No.
"Yeah, that's a great idea." Yeah.
Play it back. Somebody clip the other and play it again.
I think we could
no, when
all.
this,
I think we're all
when it's not-
comfortable. I think we're all comfortable with the same story. I don't need.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs playing again.
Yeah, and a
I
new
mean-
feature. Once we stop being live, it gets taken down right away. So
Oh,
you
you
know, I
said-
have to
Yeah,
Yes!
re-upload
it's all
it.
gone.
She
yeah.
said, absolutely not. I'm good.
I mean,
Oh,
you said
okay,
I don't
alright.
know.
Well,
it
you got
feels
lucky.
like now there'll be strife. I don't know. It's,
Well, hey,
it's
guys.
what you wanted to do.
We're getting close to the end of the show here, so let's go around and start doing some closing thoughts here. But first, I'll start with like what we normally do at the end of the show. First off, thanks to everybody who tuned in. I know kind of a more, I don't say boring, but not as intense draft year. So for those of you who still tuned in and wanted to hear what we thought about and you share your thoughts with us, thank you very much. Appreciate you all being here. Make sure you check us out on all our platforms, to include YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all those good places. And then for our podcast as well, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're going to be there as well. So wait for the Orange Weekly podcast, both the pregame and the postgame podcast to start coming back as we get closer to the start of the season. So yeah, guys, it's fun to be here with you all. It's just a few months away, and training camp will be here before you know it, and preseason will be here before you know it, and hopefully that happens sooner than later. But Rob, let's start with you, man. Closing thoughts, good sir.
So just to reiterate what you said, Kev, appreciate everybody tuning in. Special shout out to Mindy and my mom for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. But you boys, utmost, I missed you guys. It feels like it's been way longer than it has. I look forward to this season. Like Kevin and I said earlier, staying even keel, waiting for them to show something worth being excited about. Always going to support the Denver Broncos, win, lose, or draw. But, just excited to kind of get back into it. And this will be year 2 for me with you guys. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, buddy.
I love this from Angelo. These are my closing
Yeah.
thoughts. Then I love this from Angelo. Not only do we shave our face and Jared glues on a beard, I think we all shave our face, send Jared some of the hair. And
I thought that
have
was already
him
implied. I
glue
thought that was
hair.
implied as
Okay.
I thought it was
good.
implied that we shave,
Yes.
and then he therefore, where else would he get hair to glue
Right.
onto his face?
Good.
Like,
I
that
don't
was
know.
part of it.
Good. No, I hope. All right. I'm glad we're all on the same page there.
Sorry, sir. Can I borrow some of your hair for me to glue to my face? No, it's got to come from us.
I mean, you could order a beard off the internet. There are other ways.
We're gonna probably go with that one.
I think Jared.
I would rather wear a stranger's pube hair on my beard than your guys's, just because at least I can be ignorant to the fact.
There's already a history of Jared getting my curly hairs on his face that we don't need to go into here. But
dear God,
I said we don't need to go into it here.
You already did.
I like this idea in any of its forms, and I am. We'll have
a meeting to set up formal votes and
something's gonna work
policies and procedures.
Something's gonna work out, absolutely. And with that, I'm tossing it over to you, Jared. Final thoughts.
I'm out. Mindy will not let me shave my face, and I wouldn't shave my face anyway. So,
I would.
All right, I'm trying not to cry over here.
Kevin's already crying. You might as well join him.
I appreciate you guys so much. We all needed this. I think all of Broncos country needed this. We had a good time tonight. And again, thank you guys for watching and keeping with us. We're coming up on year 7.
Yep. Well, year 7 since I started it as a group.
Yeah.
And then this is year 6 since we've been a page.
Gotcha. Yeah. So year 6, year 6 as a whole. So lots of time. Appreciate you guys following us and keeping it with us. On the draft, I sorry to be a negative Nancy, and I'm kind of with Rob. Rob and David are kind of staying even keeled to drop down. I'm trying a new strategy this year. Last year I was high, and then it was a long drop. It was a very long drop.
I feel you, dude.
There was a couple like big humps that you know when you take those humps along the highway. And they're like, and you kind of get that what happened in my stomach? Like I had those throughout the season. And
Jared, we're taking different humps, bro.
Surprisingly, this is not the first time I've heard Jared talk about his humps. I'm just
okay.
I'm
first of all, Kev, we saved that for our OnlyFans.
I'm a little concerned about hearing Jared talk about humps on the highway. Are you running over people on the highway?
What are you hitting?
They don't have speed. They usually
why are they speed bumps on the highway?
You have obviously never taken a California highway. You came on a California highway with me.
I did. I don't remember. I remember
the humps. There's
running over anybody. I want this to be very clear for anybody who is watching. Humps. I don't believe we ran over anybody.
My lovely lady lumps. Okay,
if you
so
have suspicions,
really, if you run into those humps, you get these you get the kind of in your stomach. And I had those last season. So instead, I'm going to try this new thing. I'm going to be David mid-season at the beginning of the season. I'm going to be don't care about anything and make them prove it to me that they're better. And then it'll be kind of like a Superman launch, right? Like if it goes well, everything will go up. And if it doesn't, it's just going to be like I just got back from Disneyland last week, and it'll be like the Small World ride. And you're just kind of small world after all, and you hear the same repeating thing over and over in your head until it's stuck in your head, and you're just looking at these crazy...
And then for the entire rest of the day, it's just in there. And...
Yeah. And you're just looking at these characters just talking their booties off in the same song over and over again, and then you get to the end and you're like, that was not worth the hour and a half I stood in line for it.
But then you look at the other things. If you don't look at the little things, the little figures, you realize very quickly that you're just in a very small boat on a plastic river in a large warehouse building. And so then you kind of have to look back at the animatronic, because otherwise the illusion is just gone.
Yeah, the illusion's gone, and then you get more
David,
sad.
you've had way too much time to think about this.
Listen, I went to Disneyland about a year and a half ago. I know where Jared's coming from. I get it.
Look, all I know is that ride is kind of terrifying when you're really drunk and you experience it.
Well, David wasn't drunk, but he had taken vitamins. It's fine.
I have 3 questions.
Go ahead.
1, Kev, where did you go to see that ride?
California.
So California. 2, where did you get the alcohol?
Oh, we were in some restaurant there.
It was in his beard.
Margaritas or something.
Maybe it was downtown.
I didn't have a beard at the time.
Downtown Disney, perhaps, Jared.
and then you guys because it's in the back of the it's a lot.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot
we
of travel.
stumbled.
Like you had to go out of your way. You would have had to get drunk and go out of your way to be like, let's go see those crazy animatronics.
Bro, you can straight up just
that
walk
was
like
the
9
plan
miles
was
in a day at Disneyland.
Go have drinks before getting on the ride. That was the point.
Jared, you got to go back to Disneyland,
that was the
bro.
plan.
Well, Jared went with his child, so now I will say this plan of yours, Jared, it does sound, I like it. It has certain merits, but it also is going to be fucking unbearable when if it comes to fruition and the Broncos do launch, and you're just going to be like just
I'm going to be on top of the world.
Like you're
right. Fucking
it's gonna
bouncing
be
off the walls, man.
It's gonna be awful. That's gonna.
Yeah.
I'm so
it might not be
looking
these
forward to
walls,
it.
but there will be. And it'd be better if I was in my closet because the walls aren't that
very
big,
small,
right? And I
at
could
that
just,
point,
could just
right.
kind of do this thing like a roller coaster. It all comes back around.
They contain it. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's it.
Thank you for tuning in to our and that's it.
That's it.
We've run out of content.
Cut.
That's the show.
Somebody say cut for God's sake.
So close the curtains. Close the curtains.
3 guys with beards and Jared. I like it, Joey.
Look, you guys can expect us. We'll go live when the schedule drops. So if that is the 11th or whatever day the schedule drops, we will go live that night to talk about it with y'all. So probably be back next week. Look out for notifications from that. And then we'll kind of let you know what's going on from there. We'll probably have some hangout shows as we just kind of wait through the rest of May, June, July. And when we get to training camp, we'll start up our coverage again. So
all I know is Denver is doing nothing but running and lifting weights, period.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And it's awesome. So look, Jared, David, Rob, you guys are awesome. All our viewers, you're all awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Chris, thank you for your donation. Appreciate it, man. The blank comment means that we got some stars, gents. Look, you don't have to send us your money. We don't, if you want to just help us out by giving us a 5-star review on our platforms, that'd be great. David has a different opinion. He wants to shake you down. That's why we hired him. We hired him as a shakedown guy. So if he shows up at your door,
and Jared just
don't be
keeps
afraid.
promoting his OnlyFans, so I don't know.
It's our
I only have 2 subscribers. Kevin and David can't keep me entertained the whole time.
Well, see, now you just ruined it because I was going to say Kevin's the one that does the filming, so.
And yet I still have to pay for the content. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, it's weird. DevCan can't get away with it. No.
Awesome. Well, hey, guys, I don't think there's anything left to say because I think we've literally said it all tonight. Other than finishing it off with a very strong Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
Take care. We'll see you all soon.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know I'm a pro.